Reporting with Tri-Cities Community Television. We're back in our mobile studios here in Lee Square in Port Coquitlam. Today is a continuation of our municipal update, and today we have Councillor Nancy McCurrach. Thank you very much for coming into the studios.
Thank you for having me today.
I know that you're actively involved in the community, and you worked really hard to get elected, and you participate in lots of things. So for those folks out there who don't really know you, can you just give us a sense of who you are and sort of what we'd like people to know about you and your family?
Certainly. So we've lived in Port Coquitlam for 26 years, and I've been very involved in the community, many different volunteer roles, particularly with the Seroptimus International of the Tri-Cities, as well as the Poco Heritage Trees, as well as a volunteer for the city actually in the Arts and Culture Department. So I've really enjoyed the volunteer worker, if you will, that I've done in the city, and I'm very pleased to be elected. It did take me 2 times.
Yes.
So as we know, you don't, when you want to do something, stop. You keep trying.
Yeah, and I think for me, one of the things that you have is you're the representative from council for the arts and culture and heritage in Port Coquitlam, and I know that's the new, Mayor West has got a new way of doing things, and that's one of those processes of having a councillor assigned to that, and that's your portfolio. And I must say I'm very impressed because we see you everywhere. So whether it's a new way of doing things, you are definitely at most art events. I somehow see you there. So I want to thank you for that.
Thank you, and I'm very thankful as well for the city staff, for the volunteers for the city as well, excuse me, and for Mayor West for appointing me to the actual arts and culture portfolio, if you will.
Yeah, and you have training in arts. Like, it's not like it's all of a sudden, if you put me in charge of engineering, I wouldn't know anything about it. But like yourself, you're an artist. I know we were at Art Focus, and you were doing a speech. The next thing you know, you brought out. I'll bring it out, but you were sort of saying, "Look, I can paint. I know how to paint." And you can see all the artists going, "My gosh, she was the first counselor to bring a painting to our event." So, tell us a bit about your love of painting and art in general.
Well, thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. I thought, well, how do you relate to people you've never met? So I thought, well, a little bit about myself in that regard. I did study art at UBC, and I was involved in arts and phys ed at the University of British Columbia. After that, I did take a course in floristry or art design at Kwantlen College, and I was a florist for a couple of years. And basically, it's just been something that I've always had a little bit of a flair for. If we visit other cities, I make sure I visit art galleries. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to continuing in this role because I do feel that Port Coquitlam has a lot of potential, and I'm very pleased with what we've got going on, which is our cultural roundtables, where we meet once a month here with different people within the arts community, such as Arts Focus, Theatrix, the Stream Keepers, the TV, different groups, and we work out what might work best for the city. And I'm very excited that coming up soon, I've invited Councillor Zoe Royer from the city of Port Moody, because at the city councils in Port Moody, to the beginning of every council meeting, they actually have some kind of art demonstration, be it dance, be it music, be it the actual art itself, the artist coming. And I thought it would be nice to bring out the same effects at our council, a couple of times a year.
Yeah. I think, though, we had Art Focus, Nicola Baines was here with Art Focus, and they were talking about their mural they did for the dialysis center. And I know that she presented in front of council, and I think that's from your sort of encouragement to kind of let these people say, you're doing some great stuff in the community. Don't keep it a secret, and at the same time, allowing council to kind of see that happen. You're involved in it, but the other councillors are doing their thing, and it's a lot to be proud of for sure in Port Coquitlam.
Yes, we have a lot of people in our city to be proud of and our community, and I think it would help just take it up a little bit of a higher level.
Yeah, I'm always surprised when you start doing this how much is really going on in the community. Like you had your groups that you're involved in. Next, as this representative, you're visiting other groups. So were you surprised how much different groups of art or art focus is out there?
Absolutely, I was very surprised. And there's the writers group, there's the art focus, there's the Poco Arts, there's What's On. There's all sorts of different entities that make it one whole piece, if you will. And I'm very impressed, and I'm still finding out more each time I go.
Yeah.
Usually, the artists in residence will come for a bit of their portfolio and explain what they're doing, like the artist that's here right now, and it's really worth seeing.
Yeah, and I think though that for a lot of folks in Poco, like we've got the new artist in the park. Or I guess I use that word, but I know that's a new thing. The city staff wanted to bring that into play, and I know your support helped move that forward. But give us a sense of what that artist in the park is, or
Yes. So the artist in the park at Lions Park is something that we are going to be doing as a pilot this year. And if it works out, hopefully we will continue to do it yearly, where we engage the public to actually do interactive art with the artist in residence. And also on that same vein is where we will be trying to do more animated vocalists during the Christmas time at the band shell. So to carry that on for a little longer.
Yeah.
So music as well as a form of art, like our pianos in the park that we have, and looking forward to that coming through.
yeah, and even here, like I know 3 or 4 times a year we have a new opening at the gallery, the Michael Art Wright Gallery, and if you look around you, like this stuff is it's not it's definitely mind and thought provoking, and it's in Port Coquitlam, so it seems sometimes people should just check out the Arts Village once in a while.
And I must say that I did really learn a lot from my. It was a day where the counselors got to go with somewhere in the city and check it out for
Yeah.
their day, checking on what actually goes on. And I had the privilege to actually be with Nikki Hillman, and she is
I know her
the
somehow.
coordinator with the arts and culture. And I was very impressed. She was working on the banners.
Yes.
And I did not know there was a program or a project where it's called Banners to Bags. So it's all about recycling. And see, I did not know that. So now we always know there can be another purpose going on for, even a banner.
Yeah, and
So-
I think we use one of the banners for bags we use for our cables here on Tri-Cities TV. So we try to support as much as possible. And now let's look a couple things around. I know it's your first time on council, so sometimes there's a lot to learn. The big one for us though is the new community center. And from what kind of
Yes.
when you look at that, I see a lot of empty walls. And for art lovers, they're probably thinking this could be a great place to put some community art. Just a sense of what your thoughts are, or what possibly is coming that way around the rec center.
Thank you for bringing that up. That has been brought up by people in the community as well. And to my understanding is there's still some money or grant money available where we're going to be working, I believe, with the high schools to possibly be doing some art inside as well. So there is something in the works. So looking forward to seeing what goes on in regards to the community center.
So, and there's a couple things. I know you're an advocate on many points, but a couple things has happened. I guess you've got you're one behind the vaping sort of ban, I guess, or curtailing in the city of Port Coquitlam. So to let people know a bit about what that motion.
Sure. There were a few bus stops that actually had vape signs on them and encouraging vaping. And I thought it just didn't resonate well, considering, the dangers. And I had brought it up to Mayor West and through to council. And eventually what's happened now is there's been a slight bylaw change so that it's basically Port Coquitlam wants to be a healthy community. So not without mentioning maybe the word vape, but that the advertising has to be healthy, so to speak.
And also too, I guess a couple of things, the period promise, and I know we've seen a lot of that with, I guess, the schools, but that's something that you want to drive within the city itself. So,
Yes, that's another item that's on the agenda, which right now we're waiting for. I actually brought it forward, and it was because
can you just to let people know what that is?
Yes. Okay. So what it means is that basically, feminine products for females have always, you go into the washroom and it's a chargeable item. So the school district has recently made it actually so that it's a free item. So then, why not have them in community facilities as well? We need to look after our most vulnerable women and girls. You might be caught off guard if you're a girl. So it should be treated no differently than toilet paper, in at least my opinion. And to try to get this worked out, the different cities already that are putting it through a pilot are the cities of Coquitlam and the city of Port Moody. So what our city's chosen to do is actually watch how their pilot is. When their pilot comes back, then we'll check on the feasibility, and I'm pretty sure that it will be something that the majority of people would want.
And so, do you find that it makes sense to me? But I guess from a council perspective, you're seeing that in the Tri-Cities. There's a lot more female representation on council. I know this for Port Coquitlam. We had Laura DuPont before the last election. Now we have 2 female councillors on staff. I think if you look at the other cities, there's kind of a good balance there. Do you think that is? Are you seeing that balance create these kind of motions that maybe? If it was just a whole bunch of me and my friends on that council who were males, we probably wouldn't bring that up. So.
I wonder. I truly wonder. I believe it most definitely would have had an effect. However, I did watch a Coquitlam City Council meeting, and it was actually a male student that brought it forward.
Perfect.
So it's just something now, when you think about it in this day and age, it just seems to be a natural and normal thing to do. And it's actually something that the United Way has put out. It's been their campaign, if you will. And I think it's a very good, and looking forward to seeing it go through in Port Coquitlam.
So, and I guess the last few questions. One was the snowstorm. Obviously we got hit with a big snowstorm. I don't think and Coquitlam did a great job. And I think in Port Coquitlam, every time you looked out there seemed to be snow plows plowing all the time. I mean, I know they were working 24 hours. So I don't know. Congratulations or thank you for that.
Thank you to our city staff and through to our director Forrest and Smith and all the hard work. They were going 24/7, and they were reporting back to council as well that they were out here, that they were out there, that they had basically all hands on deck, and they didn't stop. And for all of their efforts, and not only that, I guess the citizens out there on the street, some of them were shoveling sidewalks and helping others as well. So our city did very well, and I'm pretty pleased with our city.
Yeah, no, I went for a walk, in the snowstorm or when it was over, but there was a lot of clean sidewalks. So it seemed like a lot of citizens have figured out that, that's their responsibility. They got to clean that sidewalk or find someone younger to help them clean it. So I think it was pretty impressive. There's kind of the last couple of questions. One was the drones. We're hearing drones in parks, and I hear your name attached to that. So I just want to help people about that.
So this was another discussion that came up, and through noticing and having a couple of people mention it to me that they were concerned seeing some drones in parks. And the thought of a drone falling on a human or a pet, if it did, it could probably seriously hurt someone, if not kill them. So our city is now through the parks, they're starting to recarve the signage, because as you might notice, the signage in the park is like with 3 signs on top of each other. The city's now working on a project where there's just going to be 1 sign, and we should be looking forward to seeing also a no drone sign as well.
Well, I'm a drone pilot, or try to be, but I haven't killed anybody yet. But I could see that my biggest competition is other drones. So having some control is probably makes sense in the grand scheme of things. So again, I want to thank you very much. I know when Mayor West brought in these new representatives, and you were, we were lucky enough to have you assigned to that as an arts and heritage and cultural person. I think you've run with it. You definitely see it everywhere or most places, and I think the art awareness is rising in Port Coquitlam. So, on behalf of the arts community and us being the digital media side, we want to thank you for that, and thanks for coming in. We really appreciate the update.
Thank you. You keep up the good work too.
Well, I could do without these guys and gals behind the screen. So, this is Patrick McCarthy reporting with Tri-Cities Community Television. I want to thank Councillor McCurrach for coming in again to kind of give us an update of what's happening in the arts, cultural, and heritage in Port Coquitlam.